Oh, that's bitter. That is bitter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Finstock, joined always by my tag team partner, Josh Kimmel. Josh, what's up, my brother?
Man, I just finished and dominated a fantasy football draft, and I'm about to, after this show, dominate another one. All that with having a little bit of the sniffles. Listen, I was questionable to show up today, and man, I freaking down. I'm not Arch Manning out there. I'm not choking under pressure. I'm getting things done. I'm drafting my players. Bobby, Super Flex League. I drafted Josh Allen and Joe Burrow with my first two picks. Playoffs are clinched, baby. Things are doing well. How are you doing today, Bobby?
Man, I'm with you in regards of the sniffles. I've been under the weather. I did not get a good night's sleep at all. Um, I had no voice yesterday, plus a little bit, get too detailed with I don't feel sick to the stomach, but today voice is a little all right. Got this hot herbal tea, tastes very bitter and disgusting, but it is what it is. But college football officially back. Couple great games today. I can't wait for tomorrow night. You got the Miami Hurricanes taking on Notre Dame, and then we're 1 week away from pro football. Looking forward to Dolphins versus the Colts. Jerry Jones, officially the dumbest, stupidest general manager in the NFL. Maria, crazy turn of events for Dallas. Not good to be a Texas Dallas fan. First you trade Doncic, then you trade Micah, and then Arch Manning he's a sophomore quarterback. He was overhyped. You got to give that kid a chance. That's why he's not coming out anytime soon. But football's back. And I'm with you. I pushed back a show this morning. I had some stuff to do, but I was like, I'm not going to miss out on this one. You and I had a lot going on. I'm happy we get to sit here. It's going to be fun. We got Clash at Paris tomorrow. I know you guys on Real Talk Wrestling previewed that. We'll talk a little bit about that. But we had a fun show that we had actually for last weekend. We weren't able to do. But we're going to get to do that today because I was like, man, it's just too fun of a topic not to discuss. And that is, what if John Cena had never turned heel? And because now you're getting a taste of him as a baby face again. And obviously the response has been amazing. He's been on fire. The crowd is loving it. So we're going to touch on that. Like, what if that never happened? How would things have been different? And just catch up on some other stuff. I mean, but other than that, my man, fantasy football in full swing. I'm in a dynasty league for football now. I got roped into that. I wonder who. And I was looking at my team, and at first I thought I had your team because I figured out what your team was. But I was like, okay, that's not freaking bad. I was like, damn, all right, I'm straight. And then all of a sudden it fixed itself, and I'm like, oh, what? Yo, wait, what? No wonder he quit.
No, he did not quit. But we won't talk about that on this show.
Yeah, but no, I'm like, I'm talking about the fantasy league.
Yeah.
But actually, not bad. It's not bad. I'll just have to figure it out. And of course, I had a fantasy draft the other day, and I felt really good about that. Let me see, who was it? Maybe it's this one here. Yeah, I felt really good about the one I did for Ruckus, the Ruckus Network, which is Justin Toner and Josh Mabry. I was in their fantasy league, and Josh texted me. He's like, "Hey, dude, we're drafting in 10 minutes." I was like, "Oh crap!" So I had to rush into that, and I felt pretty good, even though it was kind of rushed. But I'm ready to go, man. Let's first off catch up on wrestling. Catch me up on Clash on Paris, man. How excited are you for tomorrow's event?
So tomorrow we'll not be watching live because it's literally in the middle of fantasy football season and it's hard. Usually SummerSlam is around this time, or not. So yeah, SummerSlam used to be around this time because during my drafts back in the day, it was I got to miss SummerSlam. And that was before it was on Peacock, so I had to always miss SummerSlam because my drafts were always scheduled. But I'm really excited for this show. I'm not too excited that they added a sixth match last night, a throwaway tag team match that nobody cares about. But be that as it may, you're only in Paris like once ever, so give them as much as you can. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the good pro wrestling, the good storytelling. It's refreshing to see a card like this after the debacle of the AEW Forbidden Door disaster. We're not going to be seeing any gummy bears. We're not going to be seeing any nonsense. We're not going to be seeing forks in the ears. Like, it's refreshing to see a professional company but on a professional wrestling show. So I can't wait to see it. I will be watching it after my draft tomorrow.
So I have to ask you, just because we saw last night on SmackDown, Sami Zayn. It was actually during the day, but they played it yesterday. But Sami Zayn winning the United States Championship from Solo Sikoa. Solo, I think, held the belt for 60 plus days. How are you feeling about him? Sami Zayn winning last night and Solo dropping on a SmackDown instead of tomorrow. Do you think too soon? Do you think it was the right decision? How are you feeling about that?
TV titles are meant to be defended on TV, and TV titles can be meant to be dropped on TV. That's a TV title. So is the Intercontinental title. I'm okay with those titles. So are tag team titles. Those titles can change weekly. I don't care. That makes things more fun. I see that there's a lot of hate about Sami Zayn winning this because they see it's a downgrade for Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn doesn't, you want him to be a world champion. What's he doing in the mid card? Then they're like, oh, well, you're burying Solo. Listen, I said it on this show. I said it on Real Talk Wrestling. I've said it all around the world. All around the world. Why are we having Jacob Fatu win this U.S. title, then drop it to Solo? If Jacob beats Solo again for this title, Solo's buried. Problem solved. Same thing happened with Gunther. Gunther only beat Jey Uso, so Goldberg didn't have to, or so Seth Rollins didn't have to. They're saving that match. They took the title off of Solo so Jacob could finally end this feud without winning a belt. That's my opinion.
Okay.
This sets up Sami Zayn to drop it to someone later down the road. He might hold it for maybe 2 to 3 months, but he could drop it to somebody else, to a heel, and then now it doesn't muddy the waters, because I did not want to see Jacob Fatu win this title back yet. He does not. He is bigger than the U.S. title, way bigger. I've always thought that. I did not like him winning it. I thought it was silly to see a monster Samoan carry around some mid-card title. I thought it was so silly. So I think that they gave the title to Sami as a babyface to defend it, and eventually we'll drop it to somebody like a Carmelo Hayes, or somebody like a good heel. I heard Hayes is turning babyface, by the way, but I like it. People are hating it. I like it. I don't see the problem.
You're right there asking, why not have this match and title change for Clash? I think you brought that up because you feel like it's a TV championship, should be defended on TV, and I'm okay with title changes on SmackDown or Raw. I don't think you should save them just for. I love when the World Championship is changed on a regular TV show, because that leaves you going, you never know. When it's defended on a TV show, you shouldn't be like, oh, we know he's gonna keep the title. No, you should be like, we don't know what's gonna happen. This title could change hands. And so that happened yesterday. Don't get me wrong. You know how high I first of all love Sami Zayn, but you know how high I am on Solo. I don't want to see him lose the belt. I wanted to see him have a good reign with it, kind of establish himself. It doesn't happen that way. I think his group is good enough that he doesn't need it, but I think it would have been better with him having it. I think it would have established that belt. But maybe this sets up Sami to win that Grand Slam eventually. That world title is still in a discussion. We still have a while to go before we start talking WrestleMania and etc.
What I told Chris was, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. When did Sami win the 24/7 title? How are you going to win the Grand Slam if you don't win the 24/7 title, brother?
Does that count?
I mean,
it's an NXT title now, isn't it?
Wait, is that real life? They brought it back for NXT?
Yeah, 24/7, I think. Is that what that is? The 20? No, wait. I'm sorry, not the 24.
I gotta talk to Clutch about that, because that's crazy.
Which belt is it? There's a belt that Speed. I'm sorry, the Speed titles are NXT now. That's what it is, not 24/7. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this.
I was joking, by the way. Obviously,
you're right.
Bad joke,
it's a great question, though. It's a great question. It's all right. But let me ask you this: tomorrow, you have, in regards of title change matches, you have Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella.
Not gonna happen.
Fatal 4-way.
Not gonna happen.
I think there's only two. There's two matches for the title.
There's gonna be no title changes.
No title changes. Which match are you most excited to see?
Fatal 4-way, easily. To me, I want to see how that transparent. I had a bold prediction on Real Talk Wrestling. If you didn't catch it, I'll just tell you now. I'm predicting Karrion Kross is going to be the fourth member of the Vision, and I think that's going to set up this huge War Games match. This is setting up for War Games, people, and we need a fourth on the Vision. We already have Roman, Punk, LA Knight, possibly Jey Uso versus 4 of the Vision. And listen, Survivor Series is right around the corner.
I might have I might have something for that in just a few minutes once we're running through this specific show that we're going to do. Because I think it could still play out that way. At least the way I'm thinking. But I like that. I think that would be an awesome swerve, if it's Karrion Kross. But we shall see. So I heard about the gummy bears. I only knew that because of Booker T. He said that's why I don't watch AEW. He see clip. He's like me. I haven't seen a whole show. I've seen clips. But I didn't even know about the gummy bear spot until I read from Booker T.
Maria loved it. Maria says that the Forbidden Door was amazing.
That's awesome. I'll get to watch it because HBO now airs all the PLEs or the pay-per-views. I think I don't know if they do it right away, but yeah, they have the whole library now. So I can watch a whole AEW pay-per-view if I have nothing else to watch in the world. I could sit down and watch.
That's
AEW.
what we're doing. That's what we're doing in 3 weeks, people. We're watching an AEW PLE pay-per-view, and we're going to review. This is going to be
I'm down. Let's do it. You tell me which one to watch, and I will do it. We'll sit down and watch it, and then we can review it.
I'm in.
But anyway, a lot to talk about. We have wrestling, we have PLEs, Finnish Twisted Metal. Have you got a chance to watch Twisted Metal?
No, I don't watch much TV. I got kids.
Dude, you gotta.
We watch other stuff, man. We watch. We watch Sonic Boom on Netflix, right? Sonic Prime.
My son watched all those. He always argues with me. He wants to watch wrestling. He wants to watch stupid people, streamers, families that record their daily lives on YouTube. Yep. He wants to watch it, and I'm like, put on a movie. Watch Despicable Me or Minions, or I don't want to watch it. Watch Transformers. I don't want to watch that. I'll say, no, you have to watch it. I'll put it on. Go ahead, go to sleep. The next day, he's watching part 2. He's watching part 3. He can't stop. I'm like, I told you, bro. Now he's hooked on Minions. I'm like,
that's my everyday. It's like, so I banned this is off topic. I banned my kid from YouTube through Monday through Friday, but he can watch it on the weekends. But last night, he's like, oh, it's the weekend. Let's watch YouTube. I said, no, Moana's on Disney. Literally on cable. We watched Moana. And guess what? Didn't want to do it. 10 minutes in, you can't wait. Well, don't turn it off. I want to watch Moana. So we do that almost every weekend. We fight about YouTube and go, no, let's watch How to Train Your Dragon instead. And he's
hooked on YouTube. I banned him from YouTube, but I caught him this morning when I walked out of my room. He was watching in the living room, and he went, oh, and he turned it off, and he looked at me. I'm like, okay, you're done, dude. But it's just the same story, I guess, for every parent. But anyway, off topic. But anyway, today's show, the main topic won't be Clash of Paris. If you want to watch a preview of Clash of Paris, go check out Real Talk Wrestling. Josh and Chris put on a great show. That's starting a brand new look. I'm excited to see how that will kick off with Josh putting in the heavy work there. Excited about the future there and FTSN Extra. But today, we're going to preview, we're going to discuss what if John Cena never turned heel. A lot of people say it was a failure. The heel turn was not a failure. The run, was that a failure? That's a very big debate because I've read some people say, no, it's just what killed it was The Rock not being involved. If it would have been allowed on its own, probably been a success. I think John is, as he is as a babyface, played a classic heel, which is not always the best thing in this day and age, in this reality world of wrestling. But yeah, I think it was not, it wasn't what it could have been if Rock had not been involved, or if it was an organic turn, not Rock being involved in the beginning. But let's talk about if it did happen. Again, we had a lot of stuff going on. So Josh, you're going to let me know. We're going to discuss how you think this could have played out. Do you want to do that first? And then we could do the slides of how I did it. Or would you like to go like, okay, this is what I think would have happened? And you goes, well, I would have thought this would happen. Kind of go.
You put in major work. Let's get to your slides, and then I could just rebuttal. Does that make sense?
Perfect. That's great. Okay, so let me go ahead and throw this here.
So what we're doing is we're going to the very beginning on January 6th. Are you going to go all the way to the beginning?
Yes, we're going to go to when basically right after the Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, we're going after the Elimination Chamber. Okay.
Yes. So, where after the Elimination Chamber, John Cena won, Cody comes out, Rock comes out, John Cena turns. That's where we're starting. We're talking about how that could have been different, what could have happened there. And I'm just, again, I'll just start it off. For me, You know, instead of John Cena turning, it's Cody. Cody sells his soul to The Rock and hits the crossroads on John Cena, setting up a heel Cody Rhodes run to WrestleMania. I think, if it wasn't John, it would have been Cody, and I think that would have been an awesome run. Kind of how we saw with John Cena when the turn happened, it shocked the world and everything. I think that would have been with Cody, and I think obviously Cody probably would have been more successful had it been him over with The Rock, because you don't really need to see The Rock. Cody selling his soul to The Rock, who's corporate, would have been great. With John Cena, why John Cena? Why would you turn with The Rock? It doesn't make sense. Cody makes sense. So in this scenario, in this what if multiverse Marvel scenario, it's Cody Rhodes selling his soul to The Rock and turning on John Cena.
See, we're different routes. I would not have Cena even touch Cody Rhodes this early on into the run. It's too early. I would go way different. I'm going Gunther. I'm gonna go Gunther, babyface Son Cena versus a Gunther. That's what I wanted from the start. And I know I'm not gonna spoil anything because I saw your slides, but I particularly did not think John Cena needed to touch that title ever, any of them. If he did, it was a World Heavyweight Championship. If he did. So I would have had him face Gunther, stay a babyface, because let's be honest, is turning, in my opinion, this is more on Cody Rhodes, him turning heel doesn't really help Cody Rhodes. So what I mean is, he's your top babyface. Cody Rhodes is. He was at this time, he was WWE's top babyface. And I go back to the 90s. Stone Cold was their top babyface. Would you ever imagine? I know John Cena is not on the, this. Imagine a heel or someone coming back, a legend coming back and facing Stone Cold. What if it was Bret Hart? Somebody in that era, right? A little bit before him. And he just comes back and steals the show, turns heel on him, yada, yada, yada. Stone Cold then becomes an afterthought because the main focus is on Bret Hart and what he did. Cody Rhodes is the face of the company. In this entire run has done nothing but hurt Cody. Cody has looked weak every single spot, every single match, every single promo. Cody looks like the biggest dweeb on the planet. So I wouldn't have had them touch yet. I would have had them touch later, just not yet. So my thing at the Chamber, he's going against Gunther. Now, will Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble? How do we fix that? Right? That's difficult to work around. Well, then you would have Jey Uso and Cody. Then you would have to add a third at that point. You would have to a heel to make it more interesting. Jey Uso, I won the Rumble. Uso, you're my best friend, or whatever. But we're gonna fight. Whereas John Cena could take down the big bad foreigner. I think that would have been much interesting. And now we're in August 30th. I think in 2 days we're in September. I don't think we're going to see a Gunther Cena match, and I think that's a tragedy. I think that is the biggest miss that WWE's going to have in his run. So I would have got that out of the way first.
So I'll just say very quick, I think that may have been the plan. I think because of Gunther's injury, that could change. Honestly, I think it would be, I wouldn't hate seeing it. I'm not disappointed in not seeing it. Like I told you, for John Cena's run, I wanted to see the greatest hits. I'm more interested in seeing the greatest hits than seeing a one-off. But I would just say this in regards of Cody selling his soul and turning heel. Because you brought up some great points about him looking weak in this run. I don't know if that would have been the same had he turned heel. I think all the ingredients were there for him to turn heel. Cody and Rock, and I think it would have been. I think it would have been, again, all the ingredients there. I think it would have made a lot more sense. And I think he would have came off stronger for it. And, like you said, he was the ultimate babyface. Well, John Cena was that at one point and was that when he came back because everybody wants to cheer John. Now, more than ever, that's because we missed babyface John. Now the crowd is like, oh, we got him back and they're giving him all the love in the world. Let's be real here. Had he stayed babyface from the beginning, I don't know if it would have had that same reaction. But because we had heel John and we missed babyface John, when he finally just flipped the switch like that, there was a lot of people going, wait, but that doesn't make sense. There's very few people doing it. There were people doing it, but very few. Everybody was just very happy we got him back, and he's been having he's being amazing with it. Him and Logan Paul had a great promo last night.
Yep.
So shout out to Logan Paul, and I think they have a great match tomorrow. But I think again, here in this scenario, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. This is at the Elimination Chamber. Rock shows up when Cody and John are shaking hands in the ring. John, instead of John being in the background, John and Cody are standing here, and he's like, "You're gonna sell your soul." John's like, "Yeah, sell your damn soul." Like, what's you and us? What are you gonna do? Because they had this thing at WrestleMania last year, and then Cody does the twist, and now we're getting heel Cody with John Cena. So you would have went with Gunther and John Cena at the Elimination Chamber. Here, it's still the Elimination Chamber match. John Cena wins. Cody turns on John at the end of Elimination Chamber.
And I want to make one thing clear before we go to the next slide. I didn't finish my Bret Hart Stone Cold thing. Imagine the biggest star of your company being taken over by Bret Hart, and then Stone Cold just looks like a dweeb for an entire year and doesn't grow at all. I feel like that's been Cody Rhodes' year. I feel like Cody Rhodes has not grown at all.
Can you do me a favor? Can you explain what you're trying to say? Because like for me,
so Stone Cold is the biggest wrestler in the history of the world, right? Austin 316.
Yes, he is.
Now let's say they go, all right, screw it. We're gonna bring in Bret Hart to feud with you, and instead of babyface Bret and babyface Stone Cold and something we all want to see again, you know what? We're gonna turn Bret heel and make him the star of the show, and you are the star of the show, really. But now you're just an afterthought because we're bringing this old guy back to be the star, and you're going to look like a nerd for about 6 months, Stone Cold. I'm sorry. Like, I know your gimmick is you're a badass and you kick everybody's ass and you drink beer, but we're going to make you look like a dweeb for this guy for just 6 months. That's what it feels like. He lost so much momentum because of this. It's outrageous. Yes, do I want Cody to turn heel? Yes, eventually. It's not time. He needs to be the baby face because that's all they got. Look around WWE at the landscape. There's not many. Now, do the fans chant everyone's music? Of course they do. We all know it's a play. We all know it's an act. We all know it's a work. We're going to sing for everybody. But to be a true baby face in 2025 where everybody likes the cool heel, that is hard. What they did to Cody's character, they crushed any chance of him being over like a John Cena. We're going to go look back at this and go, man, he looks so stupid for this WrestleMania and the year before with The Rock. 2 WrestleManias in a row, he looks completely like an idiot. And that's the problem.
That was my counter argument to that point because you're like, it made him look weak or dweeb. But I would say is that you, especially leading that bandwagon, he was already at that point with you, so this did not help that situation. I will say to your Stone Cold part, Stone Cold would have ate this alive. Stone Cold would have survived something like this. If it was, the only thing I think that if you would have took Bret Hart out, let's say you put Hogan in, then I think that's where that scenario plays out.
I couldn't think of Hogan. I was just thinking of some kind of legend.
I know what you were going. Yeah, but you know how I am. I start playing in my head, and I'm like,
yeah.
Bret wouldn't outshine Stone Cold Steve Austin, but that scenario with WrestleMania 18, Rock and Hogan, you think of that scenario, but I get it. I understand your point.
And one last thing.
I
know
this is great. No, keep going.
I'm the one who wants to be a short show tonight. I have a draft in about 40 or an hour and a half. But I want to say this. Him turning, so if Cena turned heel again, we're relying on John Cena to be the face of the company for what? For a limited amount of time. They need so bad. Every company, AEW included, needs a top face of the company. Every single company needs that. WCW had it with Goldberg. WCW had it with Sting. WWF had it with Stone Cold. If Cena turned if he kept babyface and Cody turned heel, the biggest babyface is a balding actor who we all love, but we know he has an expiration date. So who would be after he's gone, who would be the babyface? That's my issue here.
Well, the thing is, see, Goldberg, Austin, those eras, they didn't have 2 brands. WWE has 2 brands. And so the biggest babyface on SmackDown was Cody Rhodes. We know he's the biggest babyface in WWE, but on SmackDown was Cody. The biggest babyface on Raw was Jey Uso. So I think, that kind of mixed up that. And John Cena, he did a lot more than I thought he was going to do in this, could still be that. And then, Cody eventually comes back and takes over The Rock and whatever. But again, so we move on and we go to WrestleMania. And in this scenario, John Cena, babyface John, defeats heel Cody Rhodes in an epic WrestleMania match, becoming the 17th time WWE champion. So only difference here is John wins as a babyface, and Cody, with The Rock behind him, loses, which sets up a different dynamic for Cody Rhodes going forward. Where does he go from there? Obviously, we're not doing that story. I thought about doing a different slide, kind of going, where does Cody go? Because I started thinking, does he hop to Raw? Does he go off and shoot a movie? Does he take a little bit of break and comes back later? But I said, let me just stick with John Cena. And here, John, again, wins the Never Seen 17. He's the babyface. And we start off this run. Again, like you said, you weren't okay. You were okay not seeing this. I was like, this has to happen. If you're going to call him the greatest of all time, he has to win that belt. And he has to win the WWE title, not the world title. He has to win the big one. I will say this. It's not going to end this way, but I would not be surprised if John Cena's final match is trying to go for 18. I don't have it playing out that way, but that was in the back of my mind, where it's like, I could see John Cena, his final match, going, I'm going to try to win the 18, and that's not WWE, but the world title. Maybe Seth Rollins, because he says it's one of his soulmates. That I think we could. In the back of my mind, I was like, we could possibly see that match. And of course, John doesn't win it. Whatever. If he wins it, he could leave with it. Whatever. But again, that's something that is in play, where that could have happened in this scenario too. But here, he wins the 17. But WrestleMania, it would have been Gunther and John for you, right?
Yeah.
Or that would have been Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. So WrestleMania, John and Gunther. What's going on, John? He says in the chat, he's a new
John?
John Cena's heel turn was executed well, then fell off the rails. Yes, that's what we're talking about right now. We're trying to.
What if that's John Cena right there? What if that's his? John. Either way, John, we appreciate you watching. and you're right. I get it. I agree with that. It was a great heel turn. The run was where it lacked. Yep. That's where it came off the rails, because it could have been I think it would have been a great run. I think it just wasn't executed great.
It was the promo work right after he couldn't be good enough, because he would out promo any babyface on the mic. So he had to do the worst. You guys, his whole reason of turning heel was one of the worst by far excuses ever. The way he came about like a crybaby. So I would have him go in as a babyface though, because that's what we're talking about, to Gunther at WrestleMania. And I would have him lose. I would have Gunther remain the World Heavyweight Championship, because you're right. Don't worry, Bobby. In this run, we're never seeing 17. He's going to get it. It's just not now. Gunther would need to beat John Cena, and John needs to get desperate to go ahead and get that 17 title. So I'm having Gunther actually win, and John Cena coming out of WrestleMania a loser and trying to figure out a way to actually get a world championship. And that's when he eventually will target Cody Rhodes down the line.
Okay. So there, Gunther wins, retains the world championship. John loses, so John gets a little more desperate in your scenario, in your multiverse. My multiverse, John wins, defeats Cody. Same turnout, just different circumstances. It's babyface John. Monday, the Raw after WrestleMania, the biggest Raw for all season long. John is celebrating, and he has the WWE title. He's cutting a promo. He's calling out Cody. Cody's music hits. Cody never shows up. It's Randy Orton. Cena is arcaded by Randy Orton, who turns heel and challenges Cena to a match at Backlash. How does yours follow up for WrestleMania? Where does John go from after WrestleMania in your story?
Yeah, after WrestleMania, I actually like the idea of RKO, but I do like RKO turning heel just on Cody Rhodes instead. And and eventually Mr. Randy Orton is taking that title away in my multiverse. And yep.
I'm sorry. I just want to, because I just saw beat McD. And first off, McD, what's up, brother? 24-7 FSU over Alabama. Love it. I mean, I hate Florida State, but I love watching Bama get beat down.
Me too. So yeah, Cena at the Raw, we're left going, okay, who's next? What's next? What are we doing next? He's going to remain a babyface, So he's going to challenge anyone in the back for a match.
Mm.
And his next opponent, I'm sorry, we're starting out with a banger. AJ Styles.
Ooh.
I want to get those away early. I want to get AJ Styles. Like I want the best. Listen, on my run too, and I do have all these thought out. On my run, I do want the bangers, but I also want the spread-ins like of an LA Knight or Joe Hendry, which we'll get to later. So I do want to get these people. I don't think we're going to see AJ and John Cena. So that's what I did, Bobby. I looked at what we didn't, what we're not going to get in this final run, and I added some people I wanted to. AJ Styles doesn't need to be a baby face or a heel to face John Cena. None of
No.
these people do. They can just be, I
Themselves.
respect you, John, and I want to, let's finish this how we started it. So I would just have a simple AJ Styles versus John Cena feud for the very last time with nothing on the line. That might be boring to people, but that's something I wanted to see. I highly doubt anyone's going to agree with me on this one, Bobby, but I can't believe we're not getting this match. I truly cannot believe we're not getting this match.
Well, I'm with you. I think again, I want to see the greatest hits. That's why again I wanted to see John. Like Cody Rhodes makes sense. It's Cody. You want to see Cody versus John Cena, but I don't need to see John versus Drew McIntyre. I don't need to see Cena versus Gunther. I don't need to see that. I want to see CM Punk versus John Cena, AJ Styles versus John Cena, Seth Rollins versus John Cena, Randy Orton versus. I want to see the greatest hits. It's like the final tour for a big band. We don't want to hear new songs. I want to sing along to these songs. I want to sing along to Ozzy. I want to sing along to Kiss. I want to sing along to the greatest hits. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. I don't want to hear some new thing about My Heart Is Dead. I want to hear the same old from the So I'm with you. And I did follow that strategy. There is one new one where it was kind of like, ooh, I could see this happening. Even right now, I could still see it happening. I talked about that final match being possibly for the 18th title, but there's another scenario that could play out. So you have it where AJ Styles,
first feud.
I have in a feud, a Backlash. I have it Randy Orton, and in this scenario, he doesn't drop the title anytime soon. He retains the title against Randy Orton at Backlash, and moves on with that one. How does it play out with AJ Styles?
Yeah, it's John Cena's not losing another match for me for a while. So John Cena is going to beat AJ Styles in St. Louis. Now I understand it's in St. Louis. That's probably why you did see Orton, but I could easily see Orton turning heel on Cena, or not Cena, on Cody, and I think it's a bigger match for Randy Orton. Hometown world title match against Cody Rhodes as a heel. That's what I would have wanted to see. I wanted to see Cody. So there's your boy, Night of Champions.
There it is.
Boy.
There it is. So so you weren't alone on this. Again, after Randy Orton, we get AJ Styles versus John Cena. And this is not a heel against babyface. This is just AJ versus John Cena. Respect, wrestling soulmates. And I mean, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, match 2, SummerSlam was one of John Cena's greatest matches as a performer. AJ Styles versus John Cena was right there, either 1 or 2. So to watch these two go at it one more time would have been awesome. Could it happen? I doubt it. Should it happen? Absolutely. I'd rather see that than Logan Paul. But that match may surprise me. John has a lot of respect for Logan Paul, and so I'm really expecting a fun match tomorrow. But this is what I see happening here at Night of Champions. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, so I already burnt my AJ Styles match, right? So where do we go next? What do we do? Because John Cena, in my eyes, is a free agent. He can go to SmackDown. He can go to Raw.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where he
goes.
He's
not tied down. Yeah.
He's going to go somewhere. So after the AJ Styles feud, after he beats AJ Styles, your wife made some iced tea over there.
Yeah, it's a little too much lemon, and but it's okay. Yeah, I could talk, so I'm fine. Just not as great as I want to. But
so, what month is what was Night of Champions? What month was that? So Backlash was March, April. April was WrestleMania. So we're getting almost close to SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. So therefore, I would prefer to see John Cena go against a monster heel now. Now it's time to get serious. Who's it going to be? What is
in this scenario here in Night of Champions?
And Night of Champions, yeah. After he faces AJ Styles, has his little, we had a great time, great moment. Randy Orton. He's the
Okay.
heel champion. He won the championship. In my world, he beat Cody. He is now the heel champion. John Cena is going to go after his 17. It doesn't matter how long it takes or who it is. Or this is so it gives us the hits and another title opportunity. And unfortunately, guys, he loses again. I know he said he's not losing the rest of the way out, but he's not going to win the title in my eyes. I'm going to spoil this until a major PLE, which is SummerSlam. I think I have him winning at SummerSlam. I will tell you who it is very soon. So I do have him losing to Randy Orton, unfortunately.
So Maria says Cena's last run just being a rehash of past challenges is just really lame. I understand that. Again, if it had been, and again, it's not like that the whole Ray, Cody versus John Cena is not a rehash. The final match is not a rehash. But if he would have done John Cena versus Drew McIntyre, nothing on the line, just that match, people would have been like, man, Drew deserves to be in the main event. Drew should be fighting for the world title, just like they are now. Just like they're doing now with him versus or whenever, every other match he's done. To me, I don't need to see that. I really do not need to see Braun Breaker versus John Cena. I don't need to see it. Does not make sense at all to me. Braun Breaker is not ready for that yet. That's why he's in a group. He's playing the Batista Randy Orton role. Or I would say Randy Orton because Bronson Reed is playing the Batista role right now. I don't need to see that.
Oh,
we skipped awesome. One off.
We skipped Money in the Bank. I knew we were skipping something.
Who do you face at Money in the Bank?
He wins Money in the Bank.
Oh, for you, he wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah. That's how he gets his title shot. Yeah, that's how I have him winning the championship. Yeah, 1,000%. If we're gonna give it to Seth, who's a star, why not give it to Cena, who's a star? And then he can cash in on SummerSlam. Just announce whoever the champion is at SummerSlam. I'm taking this title.
Yeah,
that's how I would do it. Now it's lazy, right? People think that's lazy, but it's not. It's if you're good. Like again, if you're gonna give it to Seth, how many people have cashed in on John Cena? I would have used that. How many people have cashed in on John Cena, and he can get the thing and go? You know what? A lot of people, Edge, Dolph Ziggler, so many people have tried to take this from me because of this contract. I'm telling RVD. I'm telling you right now, Cody, whoever it is, I'm telling you when I'm cashing it in. I'm going to use this for once.
I will say, absolutely great point, right? Even Hogan gave us fresh matches like Randy Orton and HBK, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Here's the thing. All of Hogan's greatest hits were long gone. Randy Savage wasn't there. Ultimate Warrior was not going to come back. Andre was dead and buried, cremated. God rest his soul. Whatever. A lot of them were gone. You weren't going to get any remake. And Hogan was full time. He wasn't seasonal like John Cena. John Cena's final run is his final run. This is it. Hogan was a full time WWE employee, so you got to see Hogan versus Lesnar, Hogan versus Angle, Hogan versus Rock twice, Hogan versus McMahon, Hogan versus HBK, Hogan versus Randy Orton. You got to see these matches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's two different scenarios. Let's just be real. All right. This is John Cena's final run. So what are you going to do with the last 30 or 20, whatever plus dates you have left of him? Again, okay, we got to fit in. We call him the GOAT. We have to win the 17-time title. He has to win the belt. How are we going to do that? Is it Gunther? Is it Cody? Okay. We know CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, they're all going to want to. Randy Orton admitted it. He told John Cena, he said it. He said he went to, he goes, I would love to I want to rerun it. I want to run it back with you. And John said, hey, if they write it, let's do it. There were guys, if it's different with Hogan and Angle and whatever, because you had all the time in the world to do it. John Cena, you don't. So again, you're not going to waste time on that. Yeah. Sami Zayn, baby. There you go. Anyway, so moving on. You have him winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
challenging for it.
But he loses to Orton, unfortunately. But I'm just gonna spoil it. SummerSlam. I know you probably have some slides before that. He's gonna beat Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I think Cody beats Randy Orton for the title at some point. And I think that's the match. Babyface versus babyface. We needed to have this match. John needed to beat Cody. Now, how does Cody get it back? How does John drop it? I don't know where you're going to go, and I'm curious to see. So if you want to go further into your slides, I'm curious of where you're at next. Because I'm not going to lie to you. You shared all these with me before. I know your last match, which I love. I love it. I don't know how we get there, but I love it. So let's go on to the next slide.
All right. So in this one here, CM Punk faces John Cena, and instead of losing, he defeats John Cena, wins the WWE Championship. Seth, who won the Money in the Bank, cashes in, and instead of it's the world title, it's the WWE title. So you have Punk beating John. You have the John versus Punk match, but CM Punk winning. Then you have Seth Rollins winning that title. Then I'll just follow up with the next scenario. Then you get the Seth Rollins John Cena match.
Oh,
You know, you get the soulmate match, and then Brock does come back, and you get Brock attacking John Cena after which cost John Cena the title match. So Seth Rollins retains. So again, the way it's played out makes a lot of sense to me in reality because it's this following the same type of formula here, minus AJ Styles. But again, babyface John versus heel Seth Rollins would be a lot of fun. And Brock Lesnar coming back and turning on John Cena makes a lot of sense. So that's the way I have it playing out. You want to go ahead and go with
Brock's not in my world. He doesn't exist in my world, which I understand why you put him there. It makes sense. But see, Seth and Cena, no, I want Seth and CM Punk. That's the story I wanted to tell this year. That's to me, that's the most interesting thing about wrestling right now. CM Punk, Seth, that whole thing.
But I'm so sorry, but tell me when you saw John Cena and CM Punk, and then Seth Rollins, right? Was it when Seth Rollins started teasing he was going to cash in, and they had their little run-ins and all this before Seth injured himself. Don't tell me you weren't excited when you saw Seth and John Cena facing off, and that was just a cool situation. And so I get it, right? We know where we want to see happen. We want to see this story wrap up with CM Punk and John and Seth Rollins. But I would have loved to see Seth Rollins and John Cena one more time. And again, it could play out that way. Like it could be Seth versus John, final match, Saturday night main event, 18th title on the line. Maybe, just maybe. But
this is off topic. But hear me out, everyone in the chat, and you, Bobby.
Good.
Would you have run a either Saturday night main event with Joe Hendry versus Cena, or remember when they had that TNA show and they helped him sell all the tickets in New York? Cena wrestles Joe Hendry on the TNA show, the pay-per-view. I thought we were going to get Joe Hendry and Cena at some point.
I did too. I don't
think we're going to get any more. It's died down a little bit. The Joe Hendry, obviously, things just rocket up and fade off. So the Joe Hendry, it's faded away. Like, he's still over. People still love him, but that's not going to happen. But I would have much rather seen that than R-Truth or Logan Paul, to be completely honest with you. But I would love to see Joe Hendry at some point face John Cena this year. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Let me ask you this. Instead of Brock Lesnar being the super comeback and everyone's like, woo, Brock Lesnar, what if it was someone like, again, RVD? He just wrestled a year ago in AEW. They had a great match. And what if it was somebody like, I know Batista's not going to wrestle. He's too skinny now. He's an actor. But why do we have to go to Brock freaking Lesnar? Why? Who's excited for this? I'm just genuinely curious. And I don't want to go off topic and have a whole Brock Lesnar discussion, but what does that do for the business? What does that do for this run? What does it do? That's my only question to you, Bobby. Would you be if Brock didn't happen, would you go, man, I really wanted to see Brock suplex him one more time? Cena Rock, hey, if we can get Rock to commit,
100%, that would be great. If John Cena versus Brock Lesnar never happened, I don't know if I would have been like, oh, that sucks. But because it's available to us and because they have a history together, it's like Batista versus John Cena. Like you could go, man, like I know what RVD looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I really want to see that match. The
No.
name looks really cool, but I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know. It's not going to be ECW one night stand esque. Batista versus John Cena. I love Batista. Batista was voted the best wrestler turned actor, and he should be. He's freaking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fan of John Cena, Peacemaker. Cena's killing it in Hollywood. The Rock, obviously, the most money, but Batista is on another level. You know, just so much range. And I'm a big fan of Batista as a wrestler. I enjoyed him, but I know what Batista is now, what he looks like now. I don't know if I want to see Batista versus John Cena.
No,
Brock is still Brock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brock is still Brock. And again, you know, they could still deliver a match that, you probably go, man, I've seen this match 1,000 times, but I'll watch it 1,001. I'll see it again, and that's where I'm at. I'm cool with seeing, and we know what the back end of this is, right? We know the lawsuit and whatever, and he shouldn't even be there, but WWE made that decision. TKO made that decision. He's here now. And so John versus Brock Lesnar, all that aside, is absolutely, something that, yes, if Brock is available and that scenario wasn't playing itself out, yeah, I would say, man, I want to see Brock versus John Cena. I want to see them bump heads. Just like when Kurt Angle was back, that little bit of a run, I would have loved to see Brock and Kurt Angle run it back. One more match, one more time. But we didn't get to see that. So, it is what it is. So in this scenario, again, Seth Rollins versus John Cena. John is trying to get the 18th title. Seth cashed in, but Brock Lesnar shows up and sides with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman in this scenario. Just throwing that out there because that means something later on. So, John versus Brock, part 1 in this story.
Oh, we're doing Brock twice.
Brock defeats John Cena in a last man standing match at WrestlePalooza. Brock Lesnar coming back. He's not going to, I don't see him losing to John right away. I think this is a two-parter. So in this scenario, and I know that takes away from the dream of McIntyre and Gunther and whoever else you want to throw in there. But I think this story is harder because it leads into Survivor Series. Something going down in Survivor Series. So Lesnar defeats John Cena at WrestlePalooza, and then John defeats Lesnar at Crown Jewel in Australia.
Maria just stole my thunder. No Cena versus Roman. Oh yeah, there's Cena versus Roman. We're not going to not have Cena versus Roman. Ooh. So if you're going to put Cena and Brock, which nobody wants to see, promise you, Cena and Roman at WrestlePalooza, that would sell tickets. That would be a show. That would be awesome. But again, who's babyface? Who's heel? Roman is too over.
Roman is in a whole other story. Why would it's the same? Why would I don't know. I don't know why Roman would be involved in a John Cena match at this point in time, unless it's for a number one contender or something.
Oh, exactly. Number one contender or something.
But there has to be something, and soon if nobody wants it, I don't see him.
But at this point in my story, he's a champion. He won it at SummerSlam.
Okay.
He's a champion. So instead of Brock Lesnar getting a title match, screw that, brother. Roman hasn't been a champion or hasn't been in a title match in quite a while, I believe. He deserves it. He even said on Raw that, oh yeah, you guys are booing Jay because you want me in the match, but Jay got the pin. Jay deserves it. He acknowledged that, people want to see him in a title matches still. John Cena and Roman, that is your money match. I'm surprised they haven't done it or even teased it yet. That's your money match.
If Roman and John want that, it will happen. If they wanted it, it would be there. It would happen right now.
But I hope that's the final match. I hope that's the very last match in real life.
Again, I don't think it's out of the question that John could try to go for 18. And is his opponent Roman Reigns at that point? It could happen. I would be down with it. Yeah, so Cena versus Rusev, not interested. Goldberg versus Cena, not interested. Rock versus Cena, I would love. I would mark out for that. 100% would mark out for John Cena versus The Rock. But again, if Rock was involved with the story throughout the heel run, then I would be up for that. But in this scenario, it's Cody and Rock. And I don't think Rock has to be involved too much with Cody because Cody is 24/7. You're not going, man, Cody, why is Cody turning with the Rock? Rock could have been that back end figure, with Cody. He can't do that with John Cena. That's why that failed. But anyway, Survivor Series. This is where I have John Cena teaming with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and CM Punk against The Vision and Brock Lesnar in War Games. This is how I have that playing out. I think it's just, I know you brought this up earlier about War Games. This is where I have the Survivor Series going. John Cena teaming with. I think that could still be the case, but we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, it could definitely easily be the case, but I don't see how these stories are going to, match up. I just think. So you think Lesnar is going to be the fourth member? That's crazy. Just because of the Paul Heyman stuff, I assume. That would be wild. I don't see Brock working a War Games. I don't see Cena working a War Games. That's the only problem.
It's easy. I think it's easy for them because you don't have to do the match. You could wrestle for 5 minutes. You sit in the cage. You're the last one coming in. John Cena. Let's kind of like how Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Yeah. They just sat there the whole time until the end, and that's because the other guys who came in early. That's when they broke all their foots and everything. The guys who were in there the whole time.
Yeah.
John and Brock could sit there. The crowd hears here comes Brock Lesnar. He's terrorizing. And then here comes John Cena coming in to make the save. And you got John and Brock and then Roman and Brock, which people would pop for. Seth and John, CM Punk and Brock, which people are going to pop for. That's a huge, that's how the Royal Rumble is. You get to see those mini dream matches that you might not get to see anymore. You're going to see in this scenario.
All right, what's next?
Stone Cold versus Cena. I heard he wants one more match.
That'd be awesome.
McD says, I don't know if Stone Cold could give us a 5-star match anymore. No, he can't. But do you need it?
Nobody in WWE puts on 5-star matches, brother. You got to go to AEW for that.
Oh,
brother. Ask Maria.
Ask Dave Meltzer if you're going by the Meltzer rating.
Maria, I love you. You said Forbidden Door was awesome. Listen, if you want nonstop action, I'm being dead ass serious. Excuse my language. Yes, Forbidden Door was awesome. If you want stories, no, it was not awesome. It was boring.
So, okay, I'm sorry. Go with your scenario here, Survivor Series. I'm sorry.
Oh, my scenario in Survivor Series. So, oh man, I lost my track. I'm not gonna lie. My notes are over there. I'm not gonna.
You're good.
But I will say this: John Cena. If you want him against Brock, and I gave you let's do another monster. Why not Roman? Why not this? Why not that?
Sure.
I haven't brought up CM Punk yet. What if it is CM Punk? CM Punk wants to take because in my mind, in my world, he's the champion. He's defending the title. He's not going to be in a War Games match. And we haven't run back CM Punk yet. I do.
John Cena is the champion in your scenario.
In my scenario, yeah, he's the champion until the very last match. In my scenario, he's dropping it in the very, very last match.
Okay.
To Cody Rhodes. But I think John Cena versus CM Punk will work perfect here because you have him in a War Games match. Sure, that might work. Yes, but I think he's done with Seth Rollins at this point. I feel like the problem with WWE these days is the stories will start. Sami Zayn is going to be a world champion. Seth Rollins is threatening him. Well, you better get off Raw. Well, we saw that story start. Boom, now it's stopped. It's going to start again. Mm-hmm. They've been doing that a lot. And it's easily I kind of like it and I hate it. Right? I kind of like it and I hate it. But I want Seth Rollins and CM Punk's story to be done with because I do enjoy it. But, man, they're dragging it out. So I figure in my world, that's done. CM Punk lost. He's now going after John Cena. And John Cena wins, of course. John Cena ain't dropping the title till Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Isn't the worst chant of all time? I hate it, dude. I hate it.
Cody Rhodes. Was it Roman Reigns? Is that what they do now?
Lame. Yeah, it's so lame. I hate it.
I don't know where it came from, but whatever. Okay, so after Survivor Series, we're coming towards the end. And I thought long and hard about how this should play out. And there's one guy who, at one point people were like, this dude's a bust. It's just not going to work. He's a third, second generation, right? Because his uncle, it was his dad's uncle who was carrying that name, but he's a second generation, not working out. But all of a sudden, he became a heel. He was paired up with a couple ladies. He absolutely tore the roof off. He's getting major pops in Mexico. I think this guy could be involved in the winning the AAA title. I think he can win the TNA title. I think he could be, I would say Becky 2 belts, but maybe Sasha 20 belts. You know, he could be that version of it, but it would make a lot more sense and it would be a lot better. And so I started thinking, man, you know, I'm thinking who's somebody new, but somebody deserving of a John Cena rub. And the more I thought about it, you know, I don't think John Cena ever won an Intercontinental title. You know, because I started thinking, man, okay, John Cena's final match, could it be for a world title? Could it be? Or could John Cena say, hey, what's up, dude? Or could John Cena say, hey, I'm going to give you my last match, and I want to win that belt before I leave? Because John Cena was a U.S. title. He won the U.S. championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's won the WWE. He's won the world title when it was on Raw. But he's never won the IC title. So my final match for John Cena at Saturday Night Main Event is against Dominic Mysterio, where he's going to put him over, and Dominic will retain the IC title, and that will wrap up John Cena's career. I don't know how the match will play out. I don't know why Dominic goes over. I'm not going to play out the match, but I'm going to say my final match for John Cena in this scenario is not a world title match. It's the IC title on the line. Maybe it's TNA, maybe it's AAA. Who knows? Maybe that could be it. But it's John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, Saturday Night Main Event. Dominic going over.
Love it. I love it. That's great. I didn't think about that because it's not one of the greatest hits. So I cannot hate that at all.
Man, the way he speaks about Dominic Mysterio, which is rightfully deserved, makes me, you know, a lot of people speak highly of Dominic Mysterio, and rightfully so. I mean, Dominic, his growth, we're watching this guy grow into becoming one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and you know, and what he's been able to do, it just makes a lot of sense for me. And I think it would be a fun match. I think it'll be a good match.
Yep. I'm going to be easy. Layup. Only mainly because I have a draft in about 40 minutes. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Cody and Cena. That's the last match. That's the official torch pass to Cody Rhodes. Cody, like I said it from the start of this show, wrestling needs a hero. The Dark Knight, Batman said it best, right? Like well, I don't know what he said, but he wanted Harvey Dent to be the hero, not himself in The Dark Knight, because he believed that they needed a hero they could actually look up to and relate to. That's what pro wrestling is built on. It's built on heroes overcoming all of the odds. And in a world in 2025 where we don't have those anymore, look at AEW. Their top babyface is Adam Hangman Page, and he's a freaking moron who doesn't know how to be a babyface. He doesn't know how. Their top babyface is Will Ospreay, actually. He knows how. They're just like, nah, no world title for you, pal. Go get neck surgery, unfortunately. WWE, look at their baby faces. Look at them.
Mm-hmm.
It's struggling. Like CM Punk is a great baby face, right? But man, he's meant to be a heel. I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes is a great baby face, even though how much we hate him, right? We make fun of him, his poems, his talking in riddles, nonsense. He cured racism once again by having another baby. Good for him.
Oh gosh. Congratulations.
No, for real though, but we need that. Wrestling is built off of that. And if you're not going to have the biggest baby face in the history of wrestling, not pass the torch to Cody Rhodes, then we're failing Cody Rhodes. This whole run has been a total dig at Cody Rhodes. It's made him look so effing weak every step of the way. I know John thinks highly of Cody. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I just said I know. I don't know. But I know that Triple H is, and I know the company is. They wouldn't have brought him from AEW to do this and keep him as who he is. They believe in him. They need to push him. They need to have him beat John Cena for that title. And then Cody Rhodes is now the new face of the company moving forward until Braun Breaker turns babyface and is the new face of the company, which is about 15 years down the road.
Exactly.
People think Braun Breaker is going to be the face right away. That ain't happening, people. Look how long it took Roman to get over. It took Roman a very long time to become this over, where he doesn't have to speak and people are just chanting his name. Used to not be that way.
And we know, like for me, like I'm a big fan of the Steiners growing up. We know the genetics, no pun intended, of Braun Breaker. But I don't know how you could look at Braun Breaker right now and say, you could be the face of this company right now. He's not there right now. He's not there yet. You got to give it time, let it grow, because like you said, you could be a red hot superstar or wrestling superstar, whatever you want to call it, and then burn the hell out pretty damn quick. You can't rush these things. Trust me, him pairing up with Seth Rollins is great because Seth Rollins could make him a superstar.
Yep.
If Batista would have became the, they would have dropped the belt to Batista right away, you think Batista would have been Batista? No. Hell no. When Randy Orton, they gave the belt to Randy Orton right away. They let him win it against Chris Benoit, and he had a match with Triple H. That his first run was a failure. You don't do that to Braun Breaker. He's not ready yet. Let it ride out. Especially if you think he's going to be the face of your company. Unless he's going to be a heel champion. Do you want a Batista or do you want who's this guy? Oh my goodness, I just had his name, Jack Swagger. Which guy do you want? Do you want a Jack Swagger World Championship run or Batista? I want a Batista run.
I want a Batista.
So let it marinate. Don't just throw the steak on the grill and take it right off. Let it marinate in the sauce.
Yep.
Let it sit there for a little bit.
Yep.
Then you put it on the grill. There's your, you let it burn a little bit, cook it, let it burn the edges, cut it up, make sure it's cooked inside, nice medium well, whatever the hell you want. Then it's going to be juicy and good.
That's right.
Let it cook, baby. Let it cook.
We're cooking over here.
Yeah. Do you smell what we're cooking? Do you smell it? Anyway.
Verizon, can you turn your service back on, Verizon, please?
We're not plugging Verizon, I'll tell you that. But Josh, talk to me about what you got going on. I know you got fantasy football today, but talk to me about what you got going on in network, Fantasy Now Plus, Real Talk Wrestling. Where can people find you, brother? You can catch
me Mondays on Finn's Talk Sports Network and Fantasy Now Plus. Monday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern. My first show of the year. I'll be in Las Vegas, so I'll be live at 6 a.m. their time. So FN Plus, if you're on the YouTubes, go ahead and check us out. Real Talk Wrestling on Finn's Talk Extra. Usually my co-host Miami Clutch, PE, and Chris Koffler. We talk about all sorts of situations. We don't do shows like this. We do a weekly review and how we feel about it. So if you're into weekly reviews, check us out there. And man, I'm now hosting a Friday show, Bobby. And it's because we lost somebody at Fantasy Now Plus, and I'm taking over the role. And we're going to be doing we'll be reviewing the Thursday night game because it's going to be Friday and talking IDP. If you don't know IDP, it's individual defensive players.
Like it.
And I had this name, and Justin shot it down. TG, because it's Friday. TGIDP. Thank God it's IDP. Justin said nobody will get it. You know why, Justin? Because you are young and you don't know what the impact TGIF had on us. You don't understand it.
TGIF, bro. You make it sound. I'm hopefully that person's okay. You're like, that person's no longer with us. I'm like, oh my gosh, are they okay? Did I not get the memo? Rest in peace.
The YS6 might have got. I don't know. The YS6 might have got all of them. I don't know.
Yeah. So for me, guys, football season's here. I will now be hosting. Let's see. I want to make sure we got Fans Talk today. Pre-game, post-game, no holds barred, East Central Boys. So I think 5 shows. I'm back to 5 shows a week, plus producing, plus running the channel. But I'm very excited. Nothing's better than football season, sports in general.
Yep.
I will be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time for a special Sunday morning edition of East 10th Street Boys with Alex and Alex the Boy and our guest Finn Sammy of Finn's TV, who will also be my co-host with Finn Stanza on the pregame show this season for the Miami Dolphins. So Finn Sammy will be joining us. We'll be predicting the Dolphins season, predicting the best player for the Dolphins, the worst player, and we're also going to be predicting NFL awards and division winners, etc. So join us tomorrow morning for a special Finn's edition of East 10th Street Boys.
Right on.
So guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. Josh has a fantasy draft to get to and win. I'm Bobby Finstock. We appreciate you, Josh Kimmel. Bobby, like and subscribe. Body slam that like and subscribe button, brother. Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Or flying elbow. Appreciate you guys. Have a great